Yeah, what up, though? Welcome to another episode of Sources Chillin. Sources Chillin. I am your host, Source, of course. As always, welcome to the Sports Fluent Network, the Sports Fluent YouTube channel, the Sports Fluent place to be, in the place to be. Matter of fact, hold on 1 second. Let me do this real quick to see if we can grab a couple of the peoples. Where they at? Where they at though? That's the question. In case you don't know, I'm live on YouTube on the Sports Fluent YouTube channel. Source is chilling. Pull up right now. Yeah, you got to do that sometimes. You got to do that sometimes. But you got to mention it to the people. So we got to drag in a couple people. See if they out there. Is you out there? Anyway, welcome to the show. Once again, my name is Source. Of course, if you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, you already know it's Source, of course, at both of those. If you don't, feel free to join. It's free. Feel free. It's free. Yeah, pull up. It's a lot of hip hop talk, some sports, some life stuff, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. But it has been quite the week. It's been almost a week since last Thursday. Uh, quite the week in conversations, and it's the same, or one of the conversations that we're going to have today. Um, is as I won't say it's viral because actually, because of the post that has garnered a lot of views, a lot for me anyway. Um, I googled the word viral. I was like, what does viral really mean? I've googled viral in the past, maybe a couple years ago, and I remember it saying on some platforms it was 100,000. It may have said on some platforms 500,000, but I googled it about 2, 3 days ago, and the most recent definition of viral is 5 million views on social media. If that's the case, I ain't never going viral. I ain't did nothing. Not near another. Not near another post that's going viral that I've dropped. Um, in the past, I had like years ago. Matter of fact, it was on Twitter, I believe. I had a post about Cam Newton when they went to the Super Bowl. When Carolina went to the Super Bowl, I had a post about Cam Newton, and that was like half a million uh, views or something, half a million somethings that I remember. And I was like, yo, that's outrageous because that was far and away the most popular thing that I had ever put out into the world. Um, it was actually a written piece that I did. I used to do a little scribing, a little bit, nothing too crazy, from freelance as far as doing. There was a magazine, a hip hop magazine. There was uh, one of those .coms that people tend to venture to quite a bit. Then I had my own imprint on Facebook actually, which tells you how long ago it was. It was called Straight from the Source. That was for a couple years. Transferred that over to my own website, which I had for a couple years. It was called escoshka.com. Escoshka, you like Le Fleur, La Fleur, Escoshka. That was the name of the website. So it was escoshka.com. Did that for a couple years. And, throughout it all, it's been videos and kind of blogging or just putting thoughts out there, questions out there to the world. So, but yeah, so the Cam Newton thing went crazy, especially at that time. It was outrageous. It was half a million. And I was like, dang, that's actually what led me to one of those websites that led me to being picked up, as you can say, by one of those websites that people tend to flock to for some of their news. But anyway, there was that. And then outside of this post this week, the most viewed thing, well, let's see, as far as TikTok at least, I think this right now is probably my fourth, maybe fourth or fifth most viewed uh, topic or post that I've shared. And it's at what, like 325, 330,000 views at this point. But the kicker to that for this week is that on Instagram, where I have no footing outside of uh, a post about Big Daddy Kane that had 200,000 views or something like that. This is the biggest thing on Instagram outside of that. So it's actually the second biggest thing I've ever just posted on Instagram. It's at like 135, 140,000 views on Instagram. And that's outrageous to me because I have like 2,000 followers on Instagram. So, uh, yeah, that's crazy to me. It's outrageous. But people love the topic, so can't be mad at that. But anyway, that topic, I don't want to get to it first. Let's actually jump to something else first, and we'll come back to the topic that has been making so much noise for me within the last 6 days on TikTok and on Instagram. Let's start with the NBA draft. First topic of the night. The NBA draft is upon us. This topic is going to be real short. I do not care. There is nothing about this draft that I care about. Not a player, not Bronny James, respectfully. Nothing. Nothing. There's nothing about this draft that I'm interested in. I'm good. I'm going to pass. Like, I'll tap in, I'll check in. Or will I? I might be lying. I might not check in. I might be lying. I might be lying. Because I don't care. There's nothing exciting. The biggest thing I'm looking for from this draft is maybe a trade. Maybe a trade. Other than that, bro, sleep. I'm sleeping through that joint. I'm good. I'm good on the draft. Oh man, y'all can have that joint. But actually, there is some NBA news, at least one thing I want to get to, and that is the hiring of one James Jericho Reddick. James Jericho Reddick. That's right. JJ Reddick was hired as the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. No, his name is not really James Jericho Reddick. I mean, it could be, but I doubt it is. I just made it up. It's fine. It's fine. Nobody cares one way or the other. It's JJ Reddick. Anyway, there has been a lot of conversation around JJ Reddick getting this job for good reason. For good reason. One, because it is probably, quite possibly, the most coveted job in the NBA, generally speaking, if you just go name alone. Well, you got Lakers and you got Celtics. If you want to throw the Knicks in there just for entertainment purposes, sure, throw it in there. But you got Lakers and you got Celtics, generally speaking. And those are coveted jobs. And JJ Redick is a person who had a long NBA career, a long NBA career, who has been an analyst, a studio analyst, and a sideline analyst, an in-game analyst as well for the NBA. He just did the NBA Finals. Shout out to Doris Burke for being the first woman to be a in-game analyst as a woman, uh, the first woman to be an NBA analyst during the NBA Finals. The first woman to be an NBA Finals analyst. You know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, JJ Redick was there too. And now look at him. Look at him. He is the Lakers head coach. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. He gonna say, how did this white man with no experience get this job? How did it happen? This don't happen. How you can't make it make sense? How you gonna make it make sense? How you gonna make it make sense? You know, I don't know. I can't make it make sense, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. What up, Oakland? Alex, what up? I can't make it make sense. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. The the word on the street is that JJ Redick is a basketball genius. Like he's a genius when it comes to the ins and outs of the game of basketball. And that's all well and good. I'm cool with a genius getting a job. Like, what am I supposed to say? He's a genius if that is the case. However, how many times do you pull up from the analyst chair to coaching? Wait. Not only from the analyst chair to coaching, the only job you've had as a coach in your life was coaching elementary school kids in New York? Are you telling me that this man is such a genius that all it took was knowing that he played basketball and seeing him as an analyst and coaching 9-year-olds? Boom, welcome to the NBA. Not only welcome to the NBA, it's not like welcome to the NBA, welcome to Charlotte, welcome to the NBA, welcome to a struggling Houston. Oh no. Oh, we going to the Lakers, bro. We are going to the pinnacle of this thing. I see you, Alex, saying, I think they're trying to get more b-ball players, more ex-b-ball players, head coaching jobs. You know what, Alex? That's a good thought. Have you ever heard of Sam Cassell? Because he's been an assistant on the sideline, and he just won a ring. He won multiple rings as a player, and he was an integral part of this championship that was just won. There are a million NBA players who have the capability to coach or to be head coaches or to get that nod. But y'all took JJ Redick off the street, basically off the street, and said, "Here you go, bro. Welcome to the NBA." I mean, there's nowhere to go. There's no upside. You can't say there's nowhere to go but up because where's he gonna go? A few years from now, when he is no longer the Lakers coach, regardless of what happens, a lot of teams like they move coaches like I don't know. I don't want to say underwear because that's really OD. But anyway, coaches get jobs, lose jobs. New management, new ownership, whatever comes in, people lose jobs. But JJ Redick has a job with the Lakers. Let's say 8 years from now, he's no longer the Lakers coach. Is there a better job? What is he going to do? Everything else is going to be a step down. Outside of Boston, everything else is going to be a step down. Yeah. How do you get? Mm, mm, I don't know, bro. Mark Jackson's still alive, isn't he? I could have sworn I saw him this morning. I could have sworn I saw Mark Jackson this morning. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. There's a whole lot of people out there before JJ Redick. And I'm not even personally like that mad about the JJ Redick hire. As a Lakers fan, if that's what y'all think it should be, fine. However, I can understand people that are inside of this particular business looking at this hire like, y'all really, this is what y'all did. This is what y'all doing. This is what, yeah, it's a wild hire. Like, there's no way. I don't think it can be Bron's call. I don't think it can be Bron's call because he's not going to be there. Like, I'm not saying he couldn't have been involved, but Best case, he's gonna be there 3 years. Best case, 3 years. It's just a wild. It's a wild hire. It's a wild hire. Like you gotta admit. What up, Baba G Cuts? It's a wild hire. Now I'm not mad at. I saw Kendrick. Actually, I was talking about Mark Jackson. I saw Kendrick Perkins on the Mark Jackson show. I watched their podcast or Mark Jackson's podcast with his son Blue earlier today, and Kendrick was like, "It's a whole lot of people out there for them to come up with JJ Redick. It's a whole lot of people, and why it's an odd hiring when you think about if LeBron has something to do with it. It's an odd hiring. We can't really speak to how much LeBron had to do with it. We can say yeah, we think he did, and there's got to like they had to ask him, they had to talk to him. If you're the star, not only of the league, but one of the stars still of the, I mean, not only of the team, but one of the stars of the league and one of the greatest players of all time, they're gonna consult you when they make a hire. Like there's no, you're not gonna tell me that they didn't at least consult you. I'm not saying that they said LeBron, whoever you choose is what we're going with, but they asked you. Like you can't say that they didn't ask you who to hire. And considering that LeBron had the podcast that has been running for the last couple months, couple weeks, couple months with JJ Redick, it's odd. It's just an odd thing overall. I think Lakers Bronny. Uh, I don't think a lot's based on Bronny personally. Like I'm not mad at a team that drafts Bronny with the thought that, well, guess what, LeBron, if you want to play with your son, you're gonna have to come here. But for I don't think LeBron, I don't think Bronny's gonna make it that long, bro. I don't think Bronny is gonna be around long enough to even like I don't see him on a team. We act like if he gets drafted that he's going to be on the team. I don't know. Is he? Is he gonna be on the team? That's the question. So we'll see how it goes. Oh man. Lakers, Lakers, Lakers. He said gatekeeping. He gatekeeping for the wrong side. What is he doing? Even though I think 50% of coaches at this moment are African American, black. 50% of coaches in the NBA are black, I believe. So one could say, well, at least it's 50% of coaches. Truth be told, it should be like 80% of coaches. So don't give me the, well, at least it's even. Nah, nah. You see the players, the coach, the players should reflect the coach should reflect the players. And yeah, we're getting closer to that, but we're not there. And I'm not saying hire them just because somebody black. I'm definitely not saying that. I'm just saying if there are qualified coaches, a bunch of them, and you pull somebody out the woodwork, they better be great. Especially when the Lakers went to the finals, uh, the Western Conference Finals, and back to the playoffs, even though they lost to in the first round, but they went back to the playoffs again. So with their last coach, excuse me, with their most recent coach, better do something. I don't know. We're gonna see though. Oh, and I did find it interesting that Anthony Davis said, "I want to see Rondo. I want to see Rajon Rondo on this staff. I'd like to see Rajon Rondo on this staff." It's interesting that he would say that right after the JJ Redick hire. Um, yeah, it's an interesting statement. So we'll see how all that pans out. As far as the WNBA, see how the oh did Baba G Cuts asked, did you see all the allegations about JJ coming out as soon as he got hired? You're referring to the young lady that went to Duke that said he called her. She's only been called the N word one time, and it was by JJ Redick at Duke. and she was a basketball assistant. I saw that. I don't know if there are any more. I did see that comment or that statement. Listen, since we're here, let me just share this with you. If you are not black, I know you think this is going one place, and it's not. It's not going there. If you are not black, and you tell me I have never said the N word, I don't trust you. I don't trust you because you're lying. You are lying. Now, I'm not saying you said it in a derogatory way. I'm not saying you said it thinking it was in a derogatory way, even though I don't want to hear you say it at all. But if you tell me I've never said it, you're a liar. I can't trust you. I can't trust you. I know it's a difficult thing to understand for some people, but I don't expect but so much from people before they know better. And I'm not saying that people should know better, but sometimes you don't learn until later in life or after you've already committed that faux pas. I'm being nice and calling it a faux pas. But if you're telling me that you're not black, I'm gonna say white. Let's just keep it above. If you're white and you tell me you've never said the N word, you're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. I've never said it. I said it in the song. Well, you said it. That's all we're getting to. You said it. I get it. If you say it later on, if you say it after you know better, that's a whole different conversation. But if you can't at least say, yes, I've said it before, then I can't trust you. Like we can, we be all right. We can be all right, but I can't trust you. Like as far as I can throw you, and I'm not that strong. Like I got strong. Anyway, you don't want to hear all that. But yeah, I'm not that strong. So just know that. Just know it. Just know it. But enough of enough of that. Daggone it. After all that, I made sure to get my water bottle, and then I left it on a table across the room. The disrespect to myself. The disrespect to myself. You said like BBL Drizzy. Hey, BBL Drizzy is black. That guy's black. But anyway, that's a whole different conversation that I'm not trying to have. BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. BBL Drizzy. They not like us. They not like us. Anyway, next topic. Let's touch on the WNBA real quick. Nothing major. Well, it is major. Congratulations to the Minnesota Lynx on winning the Commissioner's Cup last night. They knocked off the New York Liberty 94-89. So the Minnesota Lynx, for those who don't know, I saw somebody actually ask the question, what is this? I'm going to assume that person wasn't an NBA fan because we just saw the Lakers win uh, a championship in the middle of the season, early in the season this year over Indiana. We saw that happen. Well, guess what? The WNBA had that in place already, and New York actually won last year, and New York was back in the championship this year, and they took the L to the Minnesota Lynx. So congratulations to Minnesota. Boom, bam. I'll leave it at that. And I guess I'll mention. Did you see Indiana and Chicago over the weekend? It went down. It went for two teams that are right barely inside the playoffs and then one outside the playoffs. That was a very entertaining game. That was a very entertaining game. A lot of people played well. Caitlin Clark played well for the most part. Her numbers were pretty tough. She started out well. I think she knocked down her first two threes from deep. Got a little shaky after that as far as shooting. And even when Indiana took a double digit lead late, the Chicago Sky were able to come back off the strength of one Angel Reese. Angel had 25 and 16. And it was a very entertaining game. If you watched it, you know. If you didn't watch it, you know. I ain't trying to force people into watching the WNBA. I'm just saying you missed out on some good basketball if you didn't see it. They not like us. They not like us. Do you know what's taking place? Clearly, I don't know what's taking place. Do you know what's taking place this week aside from the NBA draft? There's there's a presidential debate. A presidential debate, though. Are you looking forward to it? Okay, I'm not looking forward to it. Matter of fact, I watch presidential debates. I watch debates. I watch. I didn't really watch the Republican um, debates this term, but for the last I don't know how many years I've watched the debates as we've come up to presidential elections. Yeah, I've watched the debates leading up to picking a nominee, and then I've watched the debates uh, after that when it's one on one. This one, if I turn on this debate, it is only for comedic purposes. It's only for comedic purposes because there's going to be some foolishness stated in this debate. There's going to be some foolishness. Imagine what movie was it? What movie was it where you had the? It might not even been a movie. It might have been a viral video where you had the two grandfathers fighting. Bro, we got 78 and 79, something like that. I am not an ageist. Everybody can do whatever they want to do, but good Lord. Are you telling me the leader of the free world should be pushing octogenarian? Should the leader of the free world be pushing up on octogenarian numbers as far as years of life on this earth? I'm just curious. And look, I don't even, I'm not saying I don't care who you vote for. I am definitely not saying I don't care who you vote for. I definitely care who you vote for. But the fact that we have to have a presidential debate this time, we don't even need a presidential debate. I I should, I gotta make a post because I love to make posts about things. I think maybe on Facebook. This is a Facebook type question. I don't even want to know who you are voting for, but I just want to make a post, just put it out there. Is there any person who is planning to vote that doesn't know who they're going to vote for? Is there one? Is there one? If you don't know who you're going to vote for in this election, I'd rather you not vote, bro. I'd rather you not vote. Because what? There, listen, whatever you believe is true, whatever you like, whatever you love. I'm not that's not what I'm getting into in this moment. Not that we can't get into all that. But in this moment, I'm just saying there's nobody that needs coaxing. The fact that people are still sending money to candidates to campaign is crazy. It's crazy. Who are you campaigning to and for? No one, because no one needs to be convinced. Everybody knows who they're voting for. Whomever it is, they know. There's no need to campaign. There's no need for debates. None of that. None of that is necessary in 2024. Not necessary. We could vote tomorrow. We could vote tomorrow. 99.72% of the people that vote tomorrow are going to vote the same thing in November. It's not going to make a difference. So all this is just futile exercises for the pocket uh, padding of nearly octogenarians. That's crazy. Crazy. Hypothetical question from 604 Van City. Had Pac and Big still was alive today, who would have the more respected legacy? the more respected legacy. Well, one way or another, uh, P Diddy was still gonna be P Diddy, and standing beside P Diddy is tough. On the other hand, Suge was still gonna be Suge, and standing beside Suge is tough. Uh, I think that Pac would have transitioned from the music to the I don't know about politics. Like I don't know about all that. But as much as he grew up involved in things that were related to power to the people and um, the betterment of the world, I'd say, regardless of what you think of Pac, I think Pac would have been a force in some other field. I don't know that Big would have been a force in some other field, but I do think Pac would have, whether he acted more and then became more, I don't want to say political, but that's not the word I mean. More for the people, just more for the people in a public space. I think that Pac would have had a different legacy, a stronger legacy when it came to that, as opposed to being seen music first. So I'd say Pac. I'd say Pac. That's my guess. But hey, rest in peace to both of them. It's been 28 years. 28 years? It's been 28 years since the passing of Tupac Shakur. It's been 27 years since the passing of Christopher Wallace. That's crazy. Crazy. Oh, let's see what else we got. We got a little late start, a couple minutes, so I think I'm going to skip a couple of these topics and hold on to them. But I will throw this out there. I was watching um I don't know, I guess I was scrolling social media. Most of my commentary comes from seeing stuff on social media or the news or the news on social media. But I think that it might have been Facebook, to be honest. I don't know where it was. Either way, I saw a video of Kev on stage. I've never mentioned Kev on stage. This is episode 4. I haven't mentioned Kev on stage. I don't know him. But I think that, like, I'm proud of his efforts as if I know him. Like, the things that he's done from his humble beginnings to what he's doing now, crazy, crazy. And to watch that in real time, it's been amazing to see, and I'm inspired by it. That said, men, I'm not jealous. I never had all the muscles. Even though I was athletic, I never had all the muscles. But at some point, shirts need to be required. I'm just saying, I don't really need social media commentary from a shirtless man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even saying a young, muscular man. That's going to happen because they're never, young, muscular men are never going to let go of not wearing a shirt if that's their personality. That's what I'm saying. As long as they got the body to do it, I guess, rock on. And look, no body shaming, but on my timeline, I don't want to see a shirtless Kev on stage. And I saw that today. I've seen it multiple times and I'm not okay with it. I'm not okay with it. It's unnecessary. It's insulting to my eyes, and I don't want to see it. No need. Tank top, cut off shirt, no sleeves. I don't care. Anything. Shirtless? Come on, bro. I don't need it on my timeline. I don't need it on my timeline. Again, do what you want, people. Live your life. But why I got to suffer? Why I got to suffer? That's all I want to know. Somebody ask Kev on stage if you see him. Why I got to suffer with him wearing no shirt. Put a shirt on, man. Put a shirt on when you make the commentary, when you make the videos, when you're talking to the people. We don't need all that. Melissa, Miss Kev on stage, can you talk to your man? Can you tell him to keep that in the house? Keep that in the house. We don't want it. We don't want it. If there was a dislike button wherever I saw that, I would dislike any video that people have, including Kev on stage, without a shirt. Dislike button immediately. Immediately. I'm just saying. Just saying. All right. This one last topic, we could probably chop this up for the next few minutes. So it refers back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the show, which was the video that I had that has been viewed quite a bit on TikTok and on Instagram within the last 6 days. So I posted it on June 20th, which was 6 days ago. The video on TikTok is at 326,000 views. That same video, or a shortened version of that video on Instagram, is at 147,000 views. 147,000 on Instagram is a lot, especially for me. Like I said, that's the second most I've ever had on Instagram. As far as the TikTok one, 326 is probably my fourth most viewed, fifth most viewed video I've ever had on there. I still haven't had 1 million views on a video. My most popular one is at 919 as we speak, 919,000 views, and that was at least a year ago. Or that video came out, excuse me, at least a year ago. But anyway, the video that has caused such a stir in the social media world in this past week is my video asking a question that I asked early on when I was first starting to, get a little recognition on TikTok. The question was, what is the most fire first verse of a rap song ever? Not the leading line, not the first bar or two, but the first verse. What is the most fire first verse of a rap song ever? We've had some interesting commentary from the people. Now, it's always interesting, and I really need to be okay with this at some point. It's always interesting when you ask a question that is open to pretty much anybody to respond, and you can't control how people respond. So you're always going to get some wild comments, including, all rap sucks, it's ghetto trash. Yes, I did get that a couple times. Something similar to that, at least. I got that once, but I got something similar to that a few times. Not as much as one would expect. Not as much as one would expect this time around, but it has happened a few times. Oh, rap is garbage, all that type of stuff. And it's always from a faceless profile. It's never from an actual person who is willing to put their face and their name next to their comment. It's always from a faceless profile, which is, that's part of the game. That's just part of the game. Alex said, after reading a lot of the submissions, I got Hustler's Ambition by 50. I see you, Alex. I see you. It's been wide open. There have been quite a few unexpected songs mentioned. But of course, like, if I ask you, what do you think? And I'm going based on what I've seen. If I ask you, what do you think the number one choice has been? What is the most popular choice of the most fire first verse of a rap song ever? What do you think the answer is? What's the number one answer that I received? Y'all know what it is. Like, it's not even something to think about. And I get it. I get it. But Everybody and their mama. Their mama not even on TikTok or Instagram, but everybody and their mama said this answer. And there have been a few others that have gotten a lot of comments that I didn't necessarily expect. Probably should have, but more than I expected. But the number one answer by far is Inspector Deck Triumph from Wu Tang. By far. By far. So much so that there's probably been half as many people just saying, we all know what the answer is, and then referencing that song, than people just referencing the song. It's a lot. It's a lot of Inspector Deck Triumph that was dropped. And I respect it. Can't be mad at that. So can't be mad at that. Yeah, there were a lot of great answers. I'm gonna try to come up with a couple. I should have written some down, but I figure I can think of a couple off the top of my head. I saw a lot of this one, which I don't, I get it, but I don't get it. Tupac hit him up a lot. Now, if you want to argue, if the argument was what's the best first verse or the greatest first verse of a diss record ever, I'm not saying it's the answer, but I get why people would say it's the answer. I get it. It makes sense to me. To say that is the greatest lead verse of a rap song ever is foolishness. Foolishness. And yet, it's probably the second, third, or fourth most mentioned song. It's crazy. It's crazy. I'm like, dog, you're telling me that dissing the Notorious B.I.G., that verse is the one you're going with out of all the rap songs in history. That is the one you're going with as the greatest, most fire first verse ever. Sounds questionable. It sounds questionable. It's questionable to you? I don't know, but it's questionable to me. Others that were mentioned heavily. 6 in the morning, police at my door. It's a lot of that. Shout out to Ice T. Uh, Through the lights, camera, and action, glamour, glitters, and gold. I unfold the scroll, plan sees to stampede the globe. Verbal Intercourse by Raekwon. That's actually Nas on that verse. Visualize. Speaking of Nas, visualizing the realism of life and actuality. F who's the baddest. A person's status depends on salary. That is from Nas's first album, Illmatic. Life's a B, and that verse is by Az. A lot of that one. A lot of that one. And Noriega's banned from TV, which is led off by Nature. A lot of that one as well. Others mentioned that make no sense. Bun B's verse on murder was mentioned multiple times. Bun B raps second and last. It's only two people on the song. The first one is Pimp C. The second one is Bun B. This Bun B's verse they're referring to, but for whatever reason they just said forget the fact that it says first verse. I'm just gonna tell you what I want to tell you. And like I said, you can't control that. You can't stop people from saying it. That's another one right there. Notorious Thugs. Alex said Notorious Thugs was my first, but then I saw that a lot. Yeah, that was out there a lot. And it was multiple videos, multiple stitches with that as well, which I appreciate. Shout out to all the people who stitched the video. Because guess what? You made the views go up. And the views going up means the engagement goes up, and the engagement going up makes the money go up. Yes. Now, when I first did this video, when I did this similar question 2.5 years ago, almost 2.5 years, yeah, 2.5 years ago, something like that. That video actually is somewhere near 600,000 views. A lot more comments, a lot more shares, not a lot more shares, and more saves. But there either wasn't a creator fund at that point, or I didn't have enough uh, followers to be a part of it. So even with all that, I didn't get a dime. So disrespectful. But this time, I'm definitely in the creator rewards system, and I am definitely seeing the fruits of the post being semi popular. Now, obviously, lots of other people with more followers, more engagement, posts that go crazier are getting way more bread. And I get that. That's how it works. But for me, this is the biggest payoff I've had. Matter of fact, this is the first payoff. This is the first payoff that I've had for one video that's over $100. First payoff of over $100 for a video. Yeah, yeah. So that in itself makes me see why people act so wild on this app, or on that app, I should say. Excuse me. Yeah, because there's money to be made apparently if you can entertain the masses. And if you're silly with it, goofy with it, you embarrass yourself, you embarrass someone else, that creates engagement, and the engagement creates revenue. So people are going to be people, people are going to be people and do the things that it takes to get to the bag. I don't know if I can do that as myself. I don't know if I don't know, you know? Not that I'm above being silly and all that. Like I don't mind doing whatever, not whatever, but doing stuff. I don't mind. But there are some limitations, and I'm not necessarily going to try to make somebody else look bad, or you know make them look like they're something they're not, in order to get to the bag. I wish I had less. I don't even know what the real word is. Wish I was more reckless. Just a little more reckless. Just a little more reckless. Because the money is out there. Apparently, the money is out there, and there's people getting it. And if you want to get it too, find somebody that you don't like and embarrass them, and ruin their lives, and you can get paid too. Thankfully, I haven't had to do that, and hopefully, we can continue on with the way this thing went and keep the party going. It's been, I think I picked up maybe 1,500 new followers, 1,500 new followers, something like that, thus far on TikTok. So that's a positive. And yeah, we're getting it, we're getting it going slowly but surely. They're like you keep it a buck. You keep it a buck. I know. Integrity stinks sometimes. Integrity stinks sometimes. Get this integrity. I need some money. I need some money. But anyway, so that post is going pretty crazy. So shout out to everybody who stitched it. Um, shared it, commented, whatever the case may be, reposted it, all that good stuff. Liked it, saved it, all of it. And today, I figured it was asked in the comments, was I going to do best last verse or most fire last verse? So I figured it's a new week. We're in the middle of the week. So I threw it out there today. Not not nearly the response as the previous one, but you can't go platinum on every album, right? You can't go platinum with every album. So it is what it is. I don't know what any of that stuff means, but what up though, Michael Jones? It's a lot going on. I'm not mad at it. Peace to you. We got 3 minutes left before we check out of the Sports Fluent YouTube channel and the fourth episode of Sources Chillin. But I want to give a shout out to my guy Oakland. Shout out to Alex and Baba G Cuts who have pulled up. Oakland's pulled up multiple times. Baba G Cuts has pulled up to every show thus far. And I appreciate it. I appreciate it. One day y'all are not gonna be actually I say one day y'all are not gonna be the only people. Usually it's more people. Usually it's a couple more people. But it is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't, right? True. Anyway, we got 2 days left in this work week, unless you work on the weekends, which a lot of people do. 2 days left in the work week. And then we got a weekend, got another half week, and then we have a day off. A lot of us, I would assume, a lot of us have a day off on that following Thursday. However you want to handle that day. If you want to celebrate it, celebrate it. If you just want to get together with your people and not celebrate it, but have a get together, do that too. As we just celebrated Juneteenth a week ago, so you know where I'm at with it. And it was actually a week ago. It was actually last week, and episode 3 was on Juneteenth. So it is what it is. Chico Slim, what up, though? I wasn't sure if that was you or not. I wasn't sure if that was you, but shout out to Chico. Guess who's back? Back again. Chico's back. Hey, why are there so many? I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it because the show about to end. I ain't gonna do it. We'll talk about it another time. Any last words? Oh, you know what I meant to do? You know what I meant to do? I meant to share something with y'all real quick. All right, let me see. All right, so back in the day, if you were trying to be a rapper, then sometimes, there'd be a hot R&B song and you throw a verse on the R&B song. You throw a verse on there. You might submit it to radio. Radio might play it. It might not. I did that twice. I only submitted one of them to radio. They didn't play it, but it's cool. It's fine. It wasn't a big deal. But I was watching a video today, and a young lady was using A. Marie's Just One Thing. And that was one of the songs that I did. And it's been 20 years. It was on my mixtape back in 2004. It's been 20 years since I did that. And I think I'm going to make a video. I think I'm going to make a TikTok doing the verse. But if you want to hear it real quick, here we go. What is it? Just one thing. Just one thing that I'm trying to tell you. Don't worry about that BS they dying to sell you. They swear they speak the gospel like they ride with Mahalia. But when it's all over, folks are liars. They failures. F them. Because most cats are worthless. But I don't call names because it ain't even worth it. Right here to wherever you landing, I put you out the game right there at wherever you standing. And don't care whatever you planning. Because I anticipate defenses like Peyton Manning. Walk up to the line, point out the blitz, then call the audible, now the play switch. It's the type of ish that make people sick till we drive down the field putting up 6. Source, of course, and we putting out hits. If you don't believe me, rewind and listen to this. All right, we out here. Ollie Rose, my guy, what up? We out. Shout out to my man Ori, about to pull up. Y'all do your thing. God bless you. Good night.